what we're going to do today is we're going to do a no scraps journal. We're going to do it with no scraps. So I fixed my pages. I used all of the well, all right, not all of the ones. I'll show you that next, but let's get this done here first. So I'm putting my scraps as a masterboard on both sides of my paper here. Somebody's working on something outside. So there we go. I don't mind if I have some bubbling or anything. I'm using El Cheapo paint. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a masterboard of all the papers that I used for the journal pages. And that's going to make it so that we do not have any scraps left over. Okay. Because I really like to make the leftovers into a masterboard. And then I can go ahead and put these into my my journal as well. So let's just get these in here. And we might not be able to do them all, but we'll be able to do a lot of it, and it'll give us a very small amount of leftover paper. In case, I just have to keep lifting it so that it's not sticking on the other side. I have a little bit of black over here, I think. Maybe I did use it all up. So I'm not being too precious about my masterboard here. We're just going to use up as many of these scraps as we can. I'll use them up right now, and then we don't have to deal with them later. Some parts put this one over here. So it's pretty fun to whoops. By using these, we do not have to make pockets, because some of these can be pockets right after. And if I wind up going over, I am just going to use this to get it in there. Oops. There we go. Let's get this one down in this corner. So what we wound up with is a few of these. I'm just gonna let this dry for a little bit, but it's just more of a substantial paper now. So what we have made a fairly significantly large journal. So these are the only remainders that I have, which can go into a masterboard as well. But I don't even know if I have enough for a masterboard on these ones. Should I try it? Let's try it. Even if I can only do one side. Sorry for the banging outside. This is a really good way to use up these thinner pages. And this glue takes a while to dry, so it makes it easy to put the papers down. Move them around a little bit if we have to. And it'll be tickety-boo. There we go. There we go. And I'm still not shopping. I really, 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 really wanted to go and do a shop. But I'm not letting myself do a shop. I'm forcing myself to use the papers that I have. I don't mind having some white areas too. Some of these I'm cutting off the little elbows. I'd like there to be strips, not elbows. Can't wait to show you the actual journal. Don't forget, we don't mind having some white sections. Some of these are just too small. So we're coming down to the end here with my papers. See how it lets me move it a little bit? That helps. Isn't that fun? Okay, so it looks like we've just got this tiny section here. We've got a little bit of a section right there. And we got this corner over here. Oh, I don't even have any glue over there. And I think I seen another blank spot. Oh, right here. Let's put this brighter one in there. Okay, smooth this out a bit. There we go. So I'm gonna let this dry. But first of all, this one can be our pockets. So let's put some glue on here. And I'm telling you, I barely have any of my decorated paper left. Like I said, I like to do my pockets when I'm doing a project so that they match really nicely instead of trying to do my pockets ahead of time. And I've moved on. My paper selection and the patterns I'm using and the elements I'm using are so different that they don't work. So I think I want to, let's just put this in there. Get it to come apart. Let's put this one on here, and then this one can be our pockets. Okay. Let it release a little bit. And let's let this dry a little bit more. So I'll show you what I have left. These are the leftovers now, and some of them are just plain papers. See, they're just plain. I used up pretty much all of the design paper. So in my mind, this now is not enough to do another masterboard. This is all of my scraps that are remaining. So some of these are not going to be salvageable. Definitely not enough to do another one. So some of these are too small. See, all of these are too small for me to use those. This one looks good still. These are too small. I'll show you what I'm going to do with these in a second. All right, I think we got it. So of all of the papers that I have from this project, this is what's left. Okay, so that's going to go right up here. Now, I use this stencil for my journal pages because, again, I'm using super cheap paper that is only decorated on one side. And I just use watercolor to do that. Okay, masking tape to save the day. So now, if you don't have a stencil holder, you can make one with cardboard. Super easy to make a stencil holder with cardboard. They do like to get stuck on each other. There we go. This goes over here. Now let's get to our journal. So what I have for my journal pages are these. These are my journal pages, and I made 2 signatures. So when I made these, the inside has the stencil, okay? The inside has the stencil. So the way my up is my stencil is up. Sorry, I've got it backwards. See, the stencil is up here. So this is my journal pages. And these pages are coming from a book that I got. A paper pack that I got, which is called Deluxe Scrapbooking, and it's actually a wedding. And so I'm having to deal with the wedding element all the time to make it not look like a wedding. So these are all the pages. Okay, so this is where, see how this is not doing a very good job doing a divide there. So that's what these are for. If I have one, that'll work. They're so small. This one will work. Okay. Oh. Let's just give ourselves a border on there, on the top. And I'm really letting the colors just meld together. I'm not trying to do any control of the colors at all. Okay, I'm just letting the colors do their thing. This is the busiest, most craziest type of a journal that I'm doing here. Okay. So some of the pages are different lengths. You can see the stencil behind there. So that does not have to be our center page. This could be our center page like this, right here. Okay, so I wanted to show you this one. See how I made a mess of that one? So when I'm going to put this in, I'm going to cover that mess up. Because I did it with watercolor, so sometimes I'm not that good of a painter, and the watercolor can get wrecked. So we just grab our paper. And we put that in like this. And we've hidden our problem. Okay. Let's see how crazy busy that is. There's a lot of pages in here. Okay, so that's that signature, and we have another one. Same thing. It's got the background, and then all of the elements that are coming out of that wedding are in the pages. And then I added one heavy cardstock. I'm adding the paper, so you can see that these blocks are really for the writing spots. And because the paper was not expensive, I paid $3 for that. I'm adding a very nice downloadable page just to amp it up a little bit. So we need a center one for this one, and I think I'm going to use the masterboard. Okay, so this is all. Some of these I took from previous projects. This is a previous project, and I'm just adding that in there. And I'm just, this is what it would look like if I didn't have the stencil background. But I like the stencil background myself. Just adding whatever paper I have, okay? So now we need a center for this one. So I didn't need these. I was going to see if I needed to cover anything with these, so I don't need these. So these are going to go into this stand. And this stand is going to be used, all of these papers will be used in the masterboard. After I do a few projects, I come back and get my scraps and I make a masterboard, but I don't have enough for a masterboard now. Because those are also partial pages in there as well. So now we're going to grab one of our master boards, or two of them, because I want one in each. So here's our master boards. I think this one's still drying. They're still wet. See how they're wet? So I'm going to let them be wet and we'll work on the cover. But first, let's fix these so they're ready to go. Okay. And how we're going to do that, it takes because we still need to work on the cover. So as you can see, I wasn't too careful with my where the gluing is and where the paper is, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to add some Mod Podge. Remember, Mod Podge and glue get along, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're going to Mod Podge this cover, and this is going to help make absolutely sure all of the edges have a chance to adhere. Okay. So let's Mod Podge down. We got a coat of Mod Podge on there. We're not done yet. We're going to take a cardboard. We're going to put some white paint down. And we're going to take a piece of cardboard. It'd be helpful if I had a straight edge on there. And we're just going to pick up our paint and we're going to scrape it, okay? Everything is a background, so we're just going to scrape some paint on there. Go this way and that way. Let the paint get into all the bumps. Push it down if it doesn't look like it's gluing. And we're just doing a really thin coat. After you put the paint down, you can also come in and do some stamping if you want. This is just like a masterboard. Okay, so this needs to go and dry now. Make sure I don't have lots of paint on here because I don't want to take forever to dry. Okay, so there's that one. And we're going to do another one. It doesn't matter which side. Okay, we're just going to, you can do both sides if you want. Oh, we got to put the Mod Podge on first. Because we're looking after all of the potentially unglued corners and lines and stuff. So it's a nice thick page now that we've done that. Then the masterboarding on both sides of the very thin encyclopedia page. Just going to push those down where we want it to make sure it's glued. Okay, and now let's put our paint on it. I absolutely love this finish, and you can do this with any color of paint you want. You just don't want a heavy amount of paint. All right, let's let that dry. And let's do the one that we made that's going to be for our pockets. Get the last bits of it out. Got a fruit fly. All right. So it looks like they're all wanting to stay down. And we're done with their Mod Podge. Okay. And let's go into some more paint. Don't need a lot of paint, okay. It looks good and it feels good when you add the paint to the masterboard. You get all the paint on there. Okay, so we're done with that. We're going to let this dry. And now we're going to go back to here. So I think I've figured out where I wanted everything. So let's just do one at a time here. Now we're going to add our elements. And I'm going to add some birds. I'm going to add some girls, but they have to be the right color, like this one, okay? And it's so busy, isn't it? So busy. It's so fun. I'm going to move them over just a bit to get his tail on there. I have this fun bird here. Might be able to cover up some of that mess. Nope. Let's add a little girl. If you don't like that, that mess there, let's scrape some white paint on there. I'll take another cardboard. The cool thing about working with this cardboard is afterwards you can just toss it away. Now it looks like it was more meant to be like that. If you get a really thin coat, it's going to dry immediately, so it's chickadee-boo. So now I want to add, how about a larger bird? Let's add a large bird and a little girl. We got to leave room for the writing up there. I still don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to put a stamp on there. I think this one will be good. I've got to disguise that mess that I made there. Okay, still writing spots, but not such a mess. Okay. Oops. Now let's add our bird. And let's add our cutesy pie little girl here. Again, because we're using such inexpensive paper, adding the nicer elements really disguises the fact that we're using very, very inexpensive paper. I think maybe we should put a word on there. So this is going to be kind of like one of the busiest. Uh-oh, I should have changed my page. This is going to be one of my busiest journals. But that's okay. See, it's pretty much dry already. I've got to get a different page here. Let's just add this on the move there. Oh, I gotta move this. That's closed. And I actually did these because I wanted to put a plant on there. So let's do that because I have all these and they're gonna get wrecked if I don't put them onto something. You know what? This is a heavier paper, I think. I might be able to put a pocket on there. Let's go back to our pocket one. This is our pocket one. Let's cut that out. Let's cut it. Take the edge off first. Still not completely dry here, but we can put a paper in between so that it doesn't get stuck. So where do we want our bird here? How about right there? But right there. Okay, so let's cut this out. Cut it out right at the tail there. Let's let that dry a little bit. So this goes on the inside of the pocket. So now we just need to make a pocket for it to go in. Isn't that cool? Okay, so let's get it. Should have a where are you? I think this would make a good pocket. Nope. I'm gonna go to the plane. Anyways, I hope you guys like these longer videos. Alright. I think I'll go with black. I think I have a black in here. Yeah. Let's go with black. It'll really stand out then. So now we just need a pocket on there. I'll go down a little bit further just to make sure I have enough space. There we go. I better cover this. See how wet that still is? You need to dry, honey. So I'm going to put this on and I'm going to put this in because I need space to get that bird in there. I'd like to put a line over here. get to the bottom of that. Black is very important. If you can, I need to get some more words done, and when I do, I need to get them done in black. Because black really helps a lot in the journals. Okay, so this is going to go in here when it's dry. That'll be great. And then we could put something actually up here. Let's put a little girl in there. Oh, I gotta change my... I cut out quite a few little girls. If I need to, I can cut some more. But I think the little girls really add to the... this paper. They're called the Whimsy Girls from Etsy. Okay. So I just have some lined paper. I think that's all good. I didn't really like the dot, 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 so I actually added some straight lines to it. But I think I do have... I do have something purpley, so let's add that too. I think this is actually a sticker. I got this from Lindsay's store, so I think it's actually a sticker. Of course, I fussy cutted it. Gentle, gentle, and you know I'm not the gentlest crafter in the world. All right, I'm coming up to an hour, so I think what I'm gonna do is let's see if I have any dry. This one's almost dry. Nope, they're not dry yet. So what you're gonna see me do with them when they are dry is they're gonna get folded in half, and they're gonna go into, one is gonna go into each of the pages, each of the signatures for another masterboard, for another heavyweight, so that I can put in more pockets. Okay, so let's see here. I think I had some flowers that I wanted to... I don't go too crazy on my decorations, as you know, because usually I just want there to be a lot of writing space. I love these little poochies. They're so cute. I love them so much. This is where I have super chubby working hands here. I actually think that one would work really well. Let's trim that down. So yeah, I am basically forcing myself to use papers that I've already bought. I'm not allowing myself to shop. And I know I have a lot of supplies for making a lot of journals. I do not need to be going shopping just yet. So I'm going to put it off and see how much farther I can go with what I have. And I also would like to get some more painting done. I have some painting that I would like to get done. Because I almost used up all of my pottery, my vases for my flowers. And so I want to paint some more of those. Those were just done on watercolor. And then I also have some other designs that I want to paint. Nope, you're not the right color. You can try to color these sometimes, but be careful because it starts to look tacky depending on the paper you're trying to color, and I've had that problem a few times. So I'm just going to put good over here. Yeah, so I'm almost at an hour. So I've got another little spot there that I messed up because what I'm doing is I'm using black ink. So we're just going to disguise that with our stamp. Disguise away. Okay. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you, is how you can make a journal with 0 scraps. Almost 0. You've seen what I have left. Oh, look at how cute she is. They're different colors. You get a lot. You get a lot of them. Oh, this is perfect for this one. So I haven't been using them because I didn't really have the right paper, the right background. But keep in mind, what we're trying to do now is we're trying to add focal points. Okay? And isn't she a little perfect focal point? All right, hour's long enough. I gotta let you guys go. I'm gonna play around. Oh, I know what I need to show you. Sorry about that. Not only did I paint the pages, I also painted the covers. Oh, where did I put them now? Oh my goodness. So the covers are painted, and I'm actually going to use this is the spine, so this is the cover. Okay, it's been painted. The first coat is with Mod Podge and white paint. The second coat is just white acrylic paint, because I like to use some glue on my paint for the first one, because it's kind of a slick cardboard. And then this is going to be my spine. Okay, so believe it or not, this is the way it's going to go. If you see it this way, this is the way the journal is going. Okay, so that's the ice cream cardboard. So now I need to shape my spine, which is very easy to do if you remember. I've done it many times on this channel. We're just going to take this. I need it to be quite thick because my when you check your size, we need it quite thick. Okay, because I'm going to add more stuff to that. Okay, so we're just going to make it quite thick. I like my journals to close. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than we need to, because I still need to add the 2 master boards, which are going to make it thicker. Okay, so that's going to be how thick it's going to be. All right. Now, this spine is going to have a different design. And I could use the masterboards that I created. But I think this time, if I can find it. This time I think what's going to go good with it is fabric. So I am going to cover the covers with fabric. And then I might use the masterboard to give me an edge because I need all of this. So I might just edge it with the masterboard. Okay, hope you like it.